Today we're going to take a look at a useful and fun piece of technology that I can use to set up a training environment no matter where I am by projecting images and projecting presentations and videos onto a wall, but also something that I can use for fun and entertainment. And in fact, in this video, I'll talk about something I'm doing that I'm actually quite excited about. It's a lot of fun with this device. This device is the RoluTV EAZZE DR1 Cube. Now, this is a 1080p projector that allows me to project onto a wall wherever I might be and have audiovisual streaming services, PowerPoint presentations. I can hook up my devices to this unit and then put it onto a wall, such as an iPad or anything with HDMI, and I'll talk about that. And it also allows me to connect up to the internet for various streaming services that I can easily project into any space. This makes it useful for entertainment, makes it useful for setting up a training environment, and it makes it useful for things like setting up an impromptu movie night no matter where you are. So I've set up the unit just outside of the studio here, and you can see I've got power, USB, HDMI input. I have a headphone jack, so I can use that for audio out if I want to put speakers or headphones on there, and it comes with a remote. So I've got the remote to control everything here. In my case, I've put this onto a monopod. So you can see I've got the monopod here. It's actually quite nice because you can see I've got a treadmill here as well. So I could actually watch movies while I'm on the treadmill. Actually, maybe I'll do that. That sounds like a good idea. So the unit itself has a number of other features that will allow me to do things like connect up to it through AirPlay. And it also supports a number of different devices such as Alexa and Apple Play. I'll talk about those in a moment. Let's start the unit up. And this is a very important aspect to it. So when I press the remote to start the unit, notice that it automatically will set a grid onto the wall, and then it'll use that grid in order to set the image. So it'll set the screen size based upon the distance I am from the wall. It will go in, and you can see here, I now have the ability to go into the unit. It's 1080p, which is something that I'm fine with because a lot of what I'm using this for is to connect it up to PowerPoint. So I'm doing something like a presentation, doing something in terms of entertainment. A lot of times I will use this because I'm really interested in watching different movies and such. So you can see here I've got a number of things like the Disney Channel. It has Apple, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all those things that you would expect. There's a number of free services in here as well, so I can see those as well. It's a lot of different features that I can go into in terms of modifying what I want to see. There's a store for streaming, so I can pull in all of the various different screening services. If I want to watch football, soccer, then I can go to DAZN. I can go into different TV apps that are in here. There's all the ones that you might expect in here. You can see that there's all sorts of different ones. It is regional, so you can see for myself that I'm going to get CBC because I'm actually up in Canada. So CBC is Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. You can see that I've got the Roku channel, Crave, lots of different streaming services, some of which you'd recognize, some of which are a little bit locked into where I am in terms of the world. And you can also see here that I can go into the settings of the device itself. And underneath the settings, that's where I would set up the network. What's really interesting here is I can go into inputs. So underneath the inputs, I can go HDMI, and then I can actually give it a name. So if I'm going to use, for example, I can bring cable TV into this. I could bring satellite TV. I could connect up a Blu-ray or a DVD player. And what I've actually done is I have a DVD VCR player. This is perfect for connecting this into the HDMI with an HDMI adapter. So I have an old DVD / VHS player, and I use that to watch a lot of the retro movies that I still have on physical media. So we have everything from streaming to the ability to set myself up to bring in whatever inputs I would like. Then with things like AirPlay, what I can do is I can take my phone or I can take my iPad, and then by going into the AirPlay features of my phone and iPad, what I can do is connect up to this device. It shows up as a device in my environment, And you can see that I'm able to go into AirPlay. Underneath AirPlay, I can mirror the environment. So if I want to go into mirroring the environment, I can go in and connect up to my device. So in my case here, I'm not going to project on the screen here, but you can see that I can connect up to it, and I'm going to be able to share things like if I was using this in a classroom, I could use this. You can see my phone is here, so I can go in here, connect up to my different devices if I want. That's very useful in a training environment, or if I want to cast something from my iPad or my iPhone onto the projector screen here. Very handy little device. I'm actually very impressed with it. I've gotten a lot of use on this, so I can actually go fast with voice assistant as well. So right now I'll just say no thanks to that. And you can see I've got my device up and running, and I'm ready to watch some TVs. I just have to maybe move that door out of the way. Looks like Blossom has decided to join us for movie night. There are a lot of things that I can do with this DR1 projector. The HDMI input really opens up a lot of possibilities because I can get an HDMI adapter that allows me to bring in things like AV equipment, VHS and DVD player, for example. A good example of that is I like to be able to watch the original Star Wars movies on VHS, which might seem really odd, but these are the last editions that are unedited from the theatrical release. All subsequent editions will have different effects in them, and they've been updated since the theatrical release. So those are like old school original. Or in my case, I have certain science fiction movies, either retro movies or DVDs that are not available very easily on streaming services. I can connect those up with the DVD player as well. And of course, retro gaming. So I have HDMI output for this particular device. It's a little Nintendo device that allows me to play a ton of NES games from back in the day. It's not just about retro, it contains all of the modern streaming services as well. And in many cases, when you're watching them, you can project them wherever you like. It gives you the flexibility of having a large screen, having the ability to put it where you'd like to watch the materials, and of course, the training aspects, training room aspects are massive. I can hook up my laptop, I can project PowerPoints wherever I'd like. I'm pretty impressed with this little unit. Oh, and I forgot the AirPlay, of course, and the Google Home and all of those good things. It's worth checking out. It's something that I'm using on a more and more frequent basis, especially in my case around a lot of training and or some of the retro stuff that I'm doing to enjoy some of the old media that I have that I still want to be able to watch. And the 1080p or the 1080p is perfect for that. A lot of this material isn't available as 4K, so having a 1080p is absolutely perfect for what I'm doing. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, share it with anybody, and welcome to Tech Tuesdays. This is another Tech Tuesday, I should have said at the beginning. Come by every Tuesday where I'll talk about different tech that we can use intentionally for learning, teaching, and being more productive. And I guess also having fun. Talk to you in the next video. Take care.